Hey, welcome back. I am Alicia from Alicia Runs and Reads, and this is going to be a September TBR. This might be annoying, I'm sorry. I am dressed this way because in the month of September, I'm going to be participating in the Final FMC Readathon that is being hosted by Bose Books, and there are lots of hosts and teams and things. I'm going to be on Team Goths, hence the outfit today. I was very much a little goth child, punk child as a teenager. I was kind of a chameleon though. I would go, one day I would wear all black, the next day I would wear lots of bright punky colors, you know, back and forth. I would do kind of whatever I wanted to. But anyways, I'm excited for the readathon. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And when a team gets knocked out, they start to attack the other teams to try to knock them out of there so that maybe one of the teams can defeat the killer and live and become the final FMC. But I will be on Team Goths. I chose this team mostly because of Sarah from Wicked Reading, and also Goths for me is definitely a team I resonate with. Our bonus prompt for the month is to read books with primarily black covers, and that'll give us some bonus points. But other than that, there will be weapons and weekly prompts and things like that to get extra points, but any page you read will also count towards the readathon. So I will put all that information down below, the announcement video and all of the things. Without further ado, I will talk to you about my TBR. So I have some that I just kind of put on the list because they have black covers, and I'll go through those first. And because I have been meaning to read them and haven't yet, we're gonna go through them pretty quickly. I have Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado, and I have read the house one. Oh, The Dream House or something like that. And I really enjoyed this one, so I wanted to pick up her debut. This is short stories, and I believe all about women's bodies and how they are under attack at times. And this says, in this electric and provocative debut, Machado blithely demolishes the borders between psychological realism and science fiction, comedy and horror, fantasy and fabulism. She bends genres to shape startling stories that map the realities of women's lives and the violence visited upon their bodies. So I know some of these are a little bit weird, a little bit traumatizing, a little bit upsetting, and so of course I wanted to read them, and it's a mostly black cover, so this will fit for that prompt. And also I have the Hold on Libby, and it is going to expire, so I definitely want to get to this one early in September. It says, a wife refuses her husband's entreaties to remove the green ribbon from around her neck. A woman recounts her sexual encounters as a plague slowly consumes humanity. A sales clerk in a mall makes a horrifying discovery within the seams of the store's prom dresses, and the novella, especially heinous, inspired by Law & Order Special Victims Unit, is a phantasmagoric police procedural full of doppelgangers, ghosts, and girls with bells for eyes. Earthly and otherworldly, antic and sexy, queer and caustic, comic and deadly serious, Her Body and Other Parties enlarges the possibilities of contemporary fiction. So looking forward to read this. I know it's queer, I know it's feminist, and so maybe I will enjoy it. I am putting House of Hunger on a TBR again. I think I put this on a TBR for Summerween, and I was randomly picking from that pile, and I did not end up picking this one, but this is one I definitely want to get to, and it has house in the title for Bree from Lock Beautician's year-long Blackoween challenge, and I have only one more prompt to go. I've read several books for several of the prompts, but for some reason I still have not read one with house in the cover, so I want to get to this one so I can finish up that challenge and then do my video about it. I have Starbaker, also a mostly black cover by Andrew Michael Hurley. I have heard interesting things about this one. Sarah from Wicked Reading liked this one, and because she liked it, and because she's on my team, and because it's also a mostly black cover, at least this version is, I am going to go ahead and read it in the month of September. I don't even know if I said the right month previously. The month of September. Can't believe it's going to be September. And I know that this is grief horror about a couple that loses their son, but as they delve farther into the grief, both uncover more than they set out to. So I feel like this is going to be sad. Anytime there's a child dying, it's sad. But this is a boy at the age of 5. Usually since my kids are older now, like the kids around the ages that my kids are at the time, those ones hit even worse. So we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. I don't know if this one's gonna happen, but since it's mostly black cover and I still need to finish this one up, I'm going to put it on there. This is the last book in the trilogy for My Heart is a Chainsaw. I read the first two already, so we will see if I can get to this one. This is a slasher movie lover series, and I enjoyed the first one. I liked the second one, so we'll see how I feel about this one. We are doing a buddy read of My Heart is a Chainsaw for the readathon on Discord, so I figured I would pick up the third one since I want to finish this out eventually, but it is a bit of a bigger one, and Stephen Graham Jones writing for me definitely reads pretty slowly. I have to take my time with it, and so we'll see. We'll see if we get to that one. Also mostly black cover. This one's also a long one. I want to read Calamities by Chuck Wendig. This one just came out and I've been looking forward to it since I loved Staircase in the Woods and Black River Orchard, and I liked Book of Accidents. That one went in a direction for me I didn't particularly like, but I do want to read this one. This, as far as I know, is about wealthy people that have deals with devils or demons or something along those lines, and I'm sure we're going to get lots of character development in here and lots of interesting things. And I think this is the start of a new series called something Fiends, book one of The Fiends, so that should be interesting because I don't think he's written any like series so far, although some of his books seem to like give nods to each other. There hasn't been a series, and so I'm really interested in this one. I'm very excited. This is probably my top pick for the month of books I want to read, besides one other that I will let you know when we get there. And then I also put Wild Reverence on the list. Lots of big ones this month, so that might be a problem. I doubt I'll get to all of these, especially since sometimes I end up like sticking other things in here, but we're going to try and see what happens. Rebecca Ross, Wild Reverence. I've had this forever. I really enjoyed Divine Rivals. I thought that was really good, and I've heard really, really good things about this book. So we're going to give it a shot and see if I love it as much as some of the other people. And I definitely wanted to add some fantasy in here, as a lot of the other books are horror, so we'll see. Actually, I do have quite a few fantasy this month. So for Latin Heritage Awareness Month, which I believe is in September, I wanted to read 19 Claws and a Blackbird. This is by Augustina Bastarrica, and this is a translated work. She also wrote Tender is the Flesh, which I read and liked, and The Unworthy, which I also liked, so I wanted to give these a shot. I feel like I've seen mixed reviews about these, but they're short stories. They're always a little hard to rate, but I'm excited to give this one a shot. Also a mostly black cover. Not a mostly black cover, but by a Mexican American, also indigenous. The Sleeping Sisters by Jennifer Given, and she also wrote Salt Bones, I think, which I have not read, but I've heard pretty good things about, and I'm not exactly sure what this is about. There's missing women, murders, and some sort of family lineage heritage stuff going on, but I bought this mostly because the cover is gorgeous and I just bought it, so I'm excited to give it a shot. The tagline is "A Mother's Love is the Oldest Curse," so we will see. It says, inspired by true events, The Sleeping Sisters begins as a taut mystery shot through with myth and a Chicana indigenous reimagining of the legend of the headless woman, but by its cataclysmic end has spiraled into a fevered feral hymn to motherhood and a mesmerizing portrait of trauma and the monstrous bargains we make to protect those we love. So yeah, I am definitely curious about this one. The cover is gorgeous. I hope I love it because it's so pretty, and we will see. So those are the two I picked for Latina Heritage Month. I don't think any of the other books that I picked would work for Latina Heritage Month, but that's okay. I read very broadly all year, so not worried about it. Also, for book clubs, I don't know our Alley Book Club or Jam Book Club yet. They might have figured that out already, but I am not aware if it is. It's only the 24th, so maybe not. But I will add those in at some point if I feel like reading them, but there's no big rush to read those. I do try to read at least the ones I'm interested in the month that we do the book club, so we'll see if I end up doing that. But for my in-person book club, I need to read This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me in September. This is a fantasy that I've heard good things about, so I want to give it a shot, and I actually have the art copy. I got this for free at the library. Actually don't know what it's about. She'll rewrite their story no matter how many times it kills her, and it's an arc, so there is no synopsis. So I don't remember exactly what this is about, but I heard it's fantasy, and I heard it's good, and it's going to be part of the book club, so I'm gonna read it. And I got it for free, which was cool, and I really do like this cover. So I have a couple library books in here. Starbaker was one, but also I have a couple library books that are out of out of renewals, and I need to read or give back. So we'll see if I can get these in before that happens. If I can't, then I can't. I'm not worried about it. But Seek the Traitor Son by Veronica Roth. Literally Mad Max really likes this one, and I was curious about Veronica Roth because I read the Divergent series, that's her, right, back in the day, and I'm curious to see if I would like this one. So we'll see. It says, fate isn't something Elegy has ever thought about, but now it's a hand wrapped around her throat. The daughter of a bounty hunter, the knight sworn to protect her, the prophecy that destroys their lives. Yeah, this is a romantasy, I think, or fantasy romance, so I'm curious to see what this is all about. We'll try it and see if I like it before I have to get back to the library, because I know there's more holds on that. Decomposition book, I've heard some things about, mixed things about. Some people I follow seem to like it. Some people I follow seem to not like it. I'm curious how I will feel about it. But I think this is about a woman, and she finds a body, and then she just kind of chills with the body, but then she finds the composition book, and but it's labeled decomposition book, and I think it's the journal of the woman whose body it is. And I think we get different perspectives from the woman who died and also this woman with the body. It says, an emotionally electrifying and darkly hilarious debut about a woman who finds a dead body and can't give up its ghost. Spiraling from the disastrous falling out with her best friend, Savannah retreats to her parents' empty lake house in upstate New York to tend to her wounds. Isolated and reeling from rejection, she spends her days in a fog, drinking and overthinking an equal worrisome measure, until she wakes up one morning in the woods behind the house next to the dead body. Instead of calling the police, Savannah reads the journal she finds nearby, reliving the last desperate months of the woman's life lost in wilderness, fighting for survival. So yeah, I'm curious about that one. I'm also hoping to continue on with my hob journey and the hob along as it is, and read Mad Ship. We'll see. If I get to this, I'm at least going to chip away at it because I loved the first one. So I gave it 5+ stars. I love, obsessed. I'm doing a whole video about it. If it's not up already, it will be up soon. But I was obsessed with it. So this is book 2. I also have the audiobook to help with this almost 1,000-page book. It's over 800 pages. Yeah, 830 something, 840 something. So this will be a big one, and it'll take a lot of time, but I love these books so much. I think the last one took me almost a whole week. I was reading other things as well, but that's a long time for me to read a book, and I am excited to continue on with my Robin Hobb. A couple more. For Kayla's Buzzword Challenge, this month is me, my, mine, and I have a few options for that. I have Follow Me to Ground. I think this is short stories, or is it not? Oh, no, it's not. A haunting story about an otherworldly young woman torn between her old way of life and the perilous delights of a new lover. Follow Me to Ground is hypnotic, propulsive, and unforgettable. So no, it is not. It is horror / litfic. Interesting, isolated setting. Interesting. Anyways, I have a couple options for this. So this is one of them. This is one of my shorter ones on my physical TBR, and one of the shorter ones that fit for this. We'll see what I'm in the mood for, see what I end up getting to. The other two are Make Me Better by Sarah Gailey. This is culty, I think, a wellness retreat kind of horror. I'm not exactly sure. I know it's queer because it's Sarah Gailey and everything they write is a little queer, or a lot of queer mostly. And I'm excited to get to this one. I know Jordaline loved this one. I think some people didn't love this one. I'm curious to see where I come out. It says, a once-in-a-lifetime invitation, a remote island, a rare chance to grow, but miraculous transformation requires extreme sacrifice. I'm definitely interested in getting to that one. And then Die For Me. This was an aardvark pick, and this is a paranormal romance, dark romance type of thing. I think Kayla liked it, and so it would be interesting to read this one for her challenge. We will see. And then last but not least, the cover challenge is a cover with fire or smoke on the cover, and I Have Nowhere Burning by Catriona Ward still to read. Also mixed reviews, lots of mixed reviews on a lot of these books that I'm choosing for this month. So we'll see where I come out with it. But I've liked everything I've read from Catriona Ward. I liked Little Eve. I love Looking Glass Sound. That is a controversial opinion, but I love that book, and it's weird, and I loved it, and it's a little meta, and it's like about a writer, and it's very interesting. Anyways, love that book. Last Cat on Needless Street I liked as well, so I'm excited to see if I like this one. I still have Sundial from her to read, so this won't be my last Catriona Ward on the physical TBR, but I want to try to get to this one since I did buy this pretty much when it came out, and I'm excited to give it a shot. All right, that is all I have for the TBR this month. Who knows how many I'll get to, how much I'll divert. I did read quite a few off my last month's TBR, and I knew I was going to get to all of those. So we'll see how it goes. It's fun to look back on these and see which books you've actually read. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know if you're going to be joining us with the Final FMC Readathon this month, and I will see you next time. Bye.